we on? Good. Welcome to the Better Than Not podcast. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't. But when we at least do something, we know it's almost always better than not. Hi there, and welcome to Better Than Not, the podcast that aims to capture shifting perspectives and thought-provoking ideas in conversation while asking the question, is anything what it seems? Based on my series of Changing Frame of Reference, which you can read on the Substack app, and I hope you will, as it might give you some insight into what the podcast is all about. I also hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel so I can continue to bring you great guests like we have today. I'm your host, Doug Gardam, and today it's a privilege and a pleasure to welcome back to Better Than Not, Peter Cardinali. Peter, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for having me back.
I'm glad you can kind of fit this in because I know you're kind of busy, but it's kind of cool to have this conversation. But to properly introduce Peter here, Peter's a world-renowned bassist. He has worked with, I'll say, such icons as Anne Murray and Michael Bublé, and including national treasures like Ian Thomas. The list is long. He's also a record producer and arranger, and today he's president of Alma Records, which no doubt we're going to go down the lane a little bit on. I'm covering the bases here, Peter, today, but it's like a privilege to have you back on.
Yes.
But I was going to say, it's been Happy New Year. I should probably say that right from the top.
Thank you. You too.
I don't know what exactly date it is where it's like you can't say that anymore. But this is we're recording this I think on January 6th. So I think we're still okay.
You can say it for another week, pushing another week, depending on when the last time you spoke to that person,
No, that's cool.
A bunch of variables, but it's in my new book.
Cool. You have a new book.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. So we'll be all over that. I'm laughing here a little bit because I think both of us have had a bit of a day today in trying to get this. I often say nothing is what it seems, especially about this Better Than Not podcast. And today I think might be proof of some of those things because we're actually functioning.
Yes. Yeah. And, I've just barely started functioning again because I went to Japan at the beginning of December.
Oh.
And I usually deal okay with, jet lag and that sort of thing. But ever since I got back like mid-December or something, and I've just been like a zombie.
Really?
So, yeah, you're going to get the strange Peter today.
So did you get a bug or something, or it was just like the time?
Just, I mean, it's 14 hours ahead of us.
No.
So, I mean, it's really, it usually only takes me a couple of days when I'm there and I'm fine.
Right.
It's always the return. But this one is like, I don't know. Someone's paying me back for something.
Were you there a long time?
Just a week.
Oh,
maybe. Yeah.
That's enough to kind of get adjusted, but not enough to get enough to mix you up.
Yeah, exactly. But that's okay. It's worth going there for that.
No doubt. My son and daughter-in-law just got back from they went to Japan in the fall. They actually got engaged there, believe it or not.
Wow.
And so I'm already calling her daughter-in-law, but she's actually his fiance. But I'm cool with it either way. But they loved it. So you've been there a few times, right?
Yeah, I go at least a couple of times a year, sometimes more. I love it there. The first time I went there was like 71.
Oh my goodness.
Like that. And I've been going back ever since, but that was with Anne Murray.
Yes.
And I was blown away then, and still am. I mean, if it wasn't for the language barrier, I'd consider moving there.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, I say that really loosely, but, picking up and just going away is tough to do. But I would, I mean, back then I really considered,
really
heavily that I would do that. Yeah. But I never did. I just like it too much here.
Well, I was going to say, well, we're having like spectacular weather out here for this
Are you?
time of the year. Yeah, that's part of the reason why we moved to the West Coast, because snow and the high humidity kind of chased us away. But no snow here so far this year, so
Yeah.
it's kind of nice. But when you mentioned Japan, it's funny. I always think of technology with Japan.
Mm,
And that was one of the things I thought would be kind of cool to chat with, because you've seen it all in recording technology, like back
yeah.
from tapes, the masters, I'll say probably 8, 16, 32 track studios to whatever
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah.
to this complete digital world and streaming and all that. Like
Yeah.
it it's kind of crazy, isn't it? What you've been witness to?
Absolutely. And yeah, when I think of where I started and where it is now, it's almost actually it's almost back to where I started
Well,
now.
that's what I was going to find
So,
out, like, cuz you're with
yeah.
your record label, it's
Hmm.
like um, people are obviously recording and continuing to record, and not
Yeah.
everybody's doing the digital side of things, I don't think. But it's kind of interesting to hear, like, you're right in it, like you're right
Yeah.
doing it. And
Yeah.
I thought, like, would be kind of interesting, and even to the point of, has it affected or changed your playing, like as a player? Has it changed how you even like go and approach your instrument?
I wouldn't say that. No, I mean, my setup is people are amazed at it, but all these records I've done, it's been on one bass that cost me $45.
This kills me.
Did I tell you the story last time we spoke?
I didn't know that it was the one that you talked about, this because it's a clip actually. You talked about this $45, but I didn't realize like that was still a regular, like one of your regular instruments.
That's still what I use. I
That's
mean,
crazy, man.
oh yeah, all the records I've done, everything from, well, I got that bass. It's a Fender Precision.
Wow.
The only thing is somebody cut out the body or cut off the horns on the body, so it looks like a paddle, you know.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like a Vox. Remember those
Yeah.
Vox
Oh,
guitars that kind of went, with no horns on it? I didn't do that. I feel like I told you this last time, but um, I was with a group.
yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we had to get back to Canada, and we were there for six. I won't go through the whole story again, but we were there for 6 months. We made it really famous the first night, and then the cops came around the second night and said, "Could I see your work permit?" No, I was 12. I went,
I was gonna
"Yeah,
say, like, you're like you're not even a teenager yet when you did this.
not even no, no."
Man,
So that's when I got my bass. We came home. I won't go through the whole thing, but it was great. Best time of my life.
that's
Uh,
cool.
and yeah, I got home and had to buy a bass. I had a jazz bass. So
Ah,
got back, I guess in '65, around then. And I went to a store. I saw an ad in the paper that was, because I needed to get a bass, and put an ad in. There was a black Burns bass that had knobs all over it. I'm having a little. I think I told you this already, but like, with a kid, 12-year-old kid, you see
oh,
knobs all over the place. Like, oh, I got to have that. But I didn't. I chose the bass that was that one was a Burns. This was a Fender Precision.
hmm.
It's a much big step up.
Yeah.
The Burns was kind of like a collector's thing that nobody really ever used. Precision has been the staple, since the staple the bass.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, so the horns the guy cut the horns off. It turns out he was a disgruntled employee from a music shop in Toronto
Oh,
and hadn't been paid in a long time. So he took two basses from the store, and that mine was one of them. So I
oh,
paid him a
wow.
whole $45 to get that bass.
That
It's
is
a
crazy.
58 Precision,
Oh, man.
which if the horns weren't cut off, it'd probably be, I don't know, worth 100 grand or something, or 120 or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, 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 real crazy. But that's the only bass I've ever used.
I
You know,
just
played other ones, but that's the steady bass. You know.
so tell me. So you mentioned Anne Murray right from the beginning. Are you on her Christmas album
Yes.
that just come out?
Uh, well, we originally did it. Uh, maybe 70s, late 70s, 80, something like that. And it's been the gift I kept on giving for years, you know. I arranged some of the songs on it.
Oh wow.
And yeah, we actually, I've been meaning to call her for a year and a half now. it's, it's funny. I won't, I'll remember what I was talking about so that I come back to it. I went on a tour with Ian. No, yeah, it was. I think it was Ian Solo. No, it wasn't Ian Solo thing. It was the one. It was the thing he has with his lunch at Allen's, right? You know,
Yes,
like
yes.
guys with McLaughlin and all that.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, man, Ontario is so beautiful.
Oh,
Driving up north and south, it's just like I was blown away. I mean, I rode with Mark Jordan. You know, I drove him around a couple of the first part of the tour. Back end, I was by myself, and it was like I want to call everybody I haven't talked to in a little while. You know, so I'm calling. I'm not getting a hold of anyone. Just 'cause it's so beautiful. I want to talk to somebody I love. You know,
yeah.
so so yeah, and all the numbers I had for Ann, I guess I hadn't spoken to her in a couple of years. You know, all them gone. You know, so when I got home, I emailed her. I said, or when I got to the hotel, I said, "Hey, I'm trying to call you. None of your numbers work." She said, "Oh, I only have a cell number now." And so she gave me that, and I said, "Okay, I'll call you." It's a year and a half later,
Oh
so
wow.
I
See,
I am going to call her in the next little
so
while.
so we've got somebody you're going to call anyway. But you when you were
Yeah.
mentioning this about Ontario, like
Hmm.
what's staggering about Ontario is you can drive for 2 days and still be in Ontario.
Yes,
It's
yes. And
it's
this,
vast.
yeah, and traveling musicians are well aware of that.
I'll bet they are.
Yeah, but what were we? Oh, we were talking about Ann's record.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we were in I think Vegas, and she asked me to stick around after the show. We did 2 shows there. It was like, it was great, except after the first week, we started to, count backwards. Okay, 3 shows left, 2 shows left. We call it over the hump at the
Ah,
end of
there you
the
go.
first
There
week.
you go.
So great times. But so Ann asked me to stay back. He said, "Yeah, we're doing a Christmas record. And I want you to do some arrangements. So pick the songs you want to do." And I went, okay. So I looked at the list. Me and Rick Wilkins split the whole album. And I picked the tunes that I wanted to do. I had no idea at that point. I didn't have a label. I wasn't a publisher and all that kind of stuff. I picked all the public domain songs.
Okay.
I had no idea, honestly. I mean, it's a stroke of genius, you know.
That's cool.
But yeah, so that's we did really well for it. I mean, I think Ivory Snow bought 7 million copies of it as a promotional item.
Oh
You
my
know,
goodness, man.
that's having a big hit record, right?
Oh, that's
So,
yeah.
Warren Stewart, who's our label manager at Universal, who I work with a lot.
Still.
He called me because yeah, because he's our label manager at Universal. He was with EMI, which is what Ann's label
Right.
was. So Warren put together the new one that they just put out now,
Yes, this
and
is the one I'm talking about. Like it's crazy.
it's the same one. I think it's exactly the same one. Uh, just re-release it. Yeah. So
It's a big hit though.
it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was then too. So
Oh wow, that's
Let's see
crazy.
how good it was.
So that's like counting in years. That like Peter, that's 50 years.
Yeah, it is amazing, huh?
That's like kind of incredible when you think about it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've seen Anne on Instagram quite a bit, and
yeah.
seemed to take a big leap with the Christmas album this Christmas, right? And I
Mhm.
thought, well, that'll be a good question for Peter. Is like that is
Yeah,
you, man.
yeah, absolutely. I arranged a bunch and didn't play on that. Tom Sesniak played bass on the
Oh,
whole
okay,
album.
but you did the arranging.
Yeah, me and Rick Wilkins, Rick Wilkins,
So,
who I learned so much about writing from him.
do you have a favorite of that album that you did?
Uh, yeah, Joy to the World, Oh Holy Night was, I think my arrangement stands up to a lot of
Oh,
the
that's
big
cool.
ones now. Yeah, yeah,
Joy to the World, man. What a song that is. Like
yeah.
we heard that a few times the last 3 weeks, right? So,
No kidding. Well, what's great to see is because it's public domain, I'm half of the composition.
yeah.
So seeing Cardinali handle was pretty interesting.
I'll bet it was.
Yeah, yeah. So
Did you
okay,
have
yeah, I
any
definitely
idea like that this would do what it's doing?
absolutely zero. It was another nice session. I mean, we had full orchestra at Eastern Sound in Toronto,
Wow.
and it was great. We had the best of the best. I mean, Rob McConnell was in not only Rob, Mo Kaufman, Guido Basso, all the old names.
Oh my goodness.
And Barry Keane played drums. Yes, it was Barry. Um, oh, geez, I just said his name. Um, Tom Sesniak,
Yes, yeah.
Doug Riley on piano.
Oh man.
Um, and I conducted and wrote the stuff. Maybe that's why I wasn't playing.
That's like was that a like if you can go back to that time, was that a pretty big deal for you to be doing that instead of playing bass? Like did you feel like this is a special thing that's going on here or was it just like it's working with some great people?
You know what? It was a very special thing, and I did regard it as that at
That's
at
cool.
that point. Not, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I gladly give up playing bass on it. It was nothing like that. It was,
No.
I mean, Tom's a monster bass player. He did a lot of the early records too. And along with Gordon Lightfoot and a whole bunch of other Canadian greats. But um, I like doing both equally, but you don't get the chance well anymore for sure because budgets are like
Yeah.
not, you get one guy overdubbing all the parts. But to have a real live world class orchestra at your fingertips, literally conducting them. We had a full choir.
Oh, my goodness,
Everything was
man.
live off the floor, everything, and including Anne.
No, that's
And
so
yeah,
that's kind of a neat way to kind of talk about technology in a way because that would have all been tape then too, right?
all tape. Yeah.
And you
Oh yeah.
recorded right off the floor. You like mics were important, all that kind of stuff, where that's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And that would that be done today, Peter? Like or would it be like completely well technology's changed so much for sound too, right? Like
Not as much for actual sound, but how you get that. I mean, you were limited to 24 tracks before, unless you want to start bouncing tracks, but then you start to lose quality.
mhm.
But nowadays, you can do 300 tracks.
It's
No
crazy.
big deal. So you want to have, rooms just for the horns, rooms just for the violins. You can do whatever you want nowadays. Technically, it gets a little crazy, because
Yeah.
you start phasing and all that kind of stuff. But
Wow.
it's basically open to whatever you can think of at this point.
Wow.
The kind of engineers that were around then, there's a little difference there too. You know, nowadays the good engineers are really tech savvy. You know, in those days, you used to have a tech department. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that doesn't really correlate
Right.
exactly like that. But I
Interesting.
mean, never expected to fix stuff. But there are, I mean, John Bailey, for example. You know, he's, you know, I always tell him, you know everything about everything. You can mention any topic, and he'll go on like that.
Oh, wow.
You can't believe the amount of knowledge, and he has that technical knowledge, and no guesswork. He knows exactly. So,
Interesting.
um, yeah, it's really different how you get there. I remember when digital first started, you know, with the 32 track um, Mitsubishi machines. Let me do that. Yeah. I think my teeth are still in Japan. Mitsubishi machines, the 32 track, and the Sony 48 track, the digital machines. And that was a whole other thing, you know. And
So when would they have seen? Would that be 80s or not till like 90s?
oh no, it would be 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, early 80s.
Cuz
Started with that.
cuz I'm
Um,
thinking like the CDs I think were early 80s, right? And
yeah,
that was
80.
and that was our first kind of digital kind of reproduction, right? Like
Yeah.
that you could buy that digital reproduction for a CD. That's at least that's what I'm trying to think back on.
Well, there was before then. There was the Akai's, and there was like the midway point. There was other multi-track machines. You know,
Okay, okay.
before the big tape, the Sony and the Mitsubishis. There was an interim level, you know, which was the Akai's, the 4 tracks, you know, that kind of thing. But then professional recording machines like the Mitzi and Sony's came later, and that's what became standard for quite a few years, maybe 10 years, and then
Wow, that's long.
the DAW came along, the digital audio workstation, you know,
Wow.
and Pro Tools and all that kind of stuff. That's when that was the next level.
So Pro
And
Tools, Peter, has been out for 25 years? Would it be that long?
probably more, probably more. Yeah,
Really?
I would say more because I'm just thinking now. I did oh yeah, for sure. I did a Fuentes Brothers record. Alex Alex Cuba. His name is Alex Fuentes. Alexis Fuentes. That was one of our signings, I think, in 1998,
Okay.
and we were already well into recording Pro Tools, as Pro Tools being the standard, right?
Interesting. So
So yeah,
so that was
I was
with Alma Records then?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. And
Interesting.
it's funny because, you know, I mean, now we do a record, and you know, it could end up like, I don't know, 12 terabyte easily, you know. And I remember the engineer. We went to recorded in Victoria,
As
and
in
he brought
BC?
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
at Discovery Studios. Yeah, I think that's the name. Um, and my engineer brought a, what was it now? Was it a 5 gig hard drive,
Oh yeah.
which you're not even going to fit a song on, you know. But he brought it for a whole record. Like that's how kind of new it was, you know, judging like right, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
today we would be able to go, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're going to need at least, you know, 10 terabyte, blah, 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 whatever, right? But it was kind of new. So I remember we had to import something from Saved by Technology in Toronto, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny you say that because this is like again this technology that like you would have seen a lot of too. It's like I think our first computer that we got for home had a
Hmm.
40 megabyte. hard drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would have been like in the late, I'll say 89, 90 time frame.
Was it a PC?
Yep.
Yeah. That was my first PC.
And
What
it's
kind?
like today, like memory's almost free, right? And
This is the thing.
it's
Yeah.
staggering. When you say a terabyte, like I don't know that we even knew what a terabyte was back then. Like it was
Oh, that was
just,
futuristic stuff.
oh,
Yeah.
it's just like, and then like this is why I think it's interesting to go back through the recording world. At that time, for someone to say you were going to have music on a phone you would carry around like a wallet is preposterous. Like it
Yeah.
just like I just and it's like and all that's all here now. Like it's nothing, right?
It's all here. And I remember Mello Carmelo Palumbo. I don't know if this is your time or that kind of music.
I think your Ontario mouth has come back. I don't think I could even say that.
He was the road man. That there was a movie made of a rock band and the roadies and everybody, they would sit down and listen to the roadie talk, and it'd be like at a sermon, really quiet. I forget the name of the movie, but he was the roadie. I
Oh,
think it was
okay.
the roadie. Yeah. Well, that um, 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 character in the
Yeah.
movie was modeled after Carmelo. Like Carmelo was famous all over the way. He was the Mandelas. You know the Mandela? You remember that? Donnie Triano?
Yes, Donnie
Yeah.
Triano. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, and Bush, and then Three Dog Night,
Yep.
and a whole bunch of others. But he was like, he would lift a B3 by himself up a staircase.
He's a big
That's
man.
strong,
Oh
really
my
strong,
goodness.
but gentle guy. But Carmelo, why did I bring Carmelo up? What were we talking about?
You're recording. We started in Victoria. You're at Discovery Studios. You were saying, and it was
Right.
like
I forget what I brought up. Yeah, you gotta keep notes with me because I go off from
and
one story to the
you were
next.
well, you were saying about it being like a terabyte that the recording that you
Oh
were
yeah,
going through.
thank you. Good, good, thank you. Uh, Carmelo used to come around and say the wackiest things. Like one day, he would sit there. You know who he looked like? Cheech from
Oh
Cheech and
no.
Chong. And Cheech got his character from Carmelo
Oh
because they
really?
had opened for Mandela.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but so just picture Cheech in your head with the Coca-Cola bottom glasses, and that was Carmelo.
Really?
And he would, we'd have long chats. We'd think, everybody would look at him and go, "Oh, yeah." But no, he was like right on. He said, one day you'll be able to go to a store and buy a television, washer, dryer, beds, because back then it was like, all specialty stores, and records. You'll be able to buy records. And we're all going, okay, wow, look
Wow.
at,
Wow.
yeah.
He was
So
right on. He knew
he was
Superstore was
right
coming.
on. Yeah, so when you said we didn't know what a terabyte, but yeah, when I got my first PC, I'm trying to remember the the name, the model of it. It was one of the first ones made, and the guy said to me, he said, "Look, it comes with a 5 megabyte drive. For $3,500, I can upgrade it to a 10 megabyte drive.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna fill it, so don't even bother." It's like 5 meg is like a half an email now.
It is kind of like amazing how fast that growth has happened. Like and what
Oh
you
yeah.
can do and what you put in it and just how much is there that is almost not even used even, right? Like you think of your emails, like how many emails that I have in my system that I'll never look at again, but I don't want to delete them.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a hoarder that way because you know, at some point I figure I'm gonna need that. So now with digital, I mean,
Yep.
I wish I could show you the filing cabinets I got here. You know, it's like I'm tripping over paper. You know, it's like, mm. So I'm gonna get my granddaughter, give her a nice job. It was supposed to be a summer job, but
Ah,
we never got around to working. But yeah, I just want to scan everything, digitize everything. I may never ever need it, but I hate it when I'm looking for a file that's like, 15 years old. I can't find it.
yep.
Yeah,
I'll
and
bet.
then you
I'll,
20 years later.
I'll bet you have stuff in there that will blow your mind as far as what you have.
Yeah,
I'll bet you have stuff in there that's just like, wow. Just because from a time even perspective,
yeah,
right? Like that's
yeah,
how they signed contracts then, and who might be
yeah,
on that contract, right? Like,
yeah.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
what a
no,
gold mine.
absolutely.
I think your granddaughter will have fun doing that. Does she like music?
She loves music.
Oh,
I
there.
got her. As a matter of fact, Warren Stewart. We're talking about Warren.
Yes. Yeah.
University. Uh, Carpenter. What's her name? Something Carpenter. Serena Carpenter. That's her favorite artist. She sings. She really sings bright. Not. She's 15, 14, 15. Yeah. So it's not like but she said, no, no. She goes, good Italian. She called me no, no. She said, can you get me Serena Carpenter tickets? You think? I said,
Really?
I don't know. Let me see. So I called Warren, who, they own every artist in the world. And I said, look, if you can, I know they're premium and they got, they're hard to get and all that kind of stuff. My granddaughter would love. So anyway, he shows up with the tickets like, a couple of weeks
Cool.
before. I gave them to her and she totally freaked out. And
Oh,
she
I'll
said
bet.
his voice was hoarse from singing along all night,
Oh,
so
that's
I've
cool.
heard her sing. She sings really good.
This is your granddaughter.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
My first grandkid.
Oh, wow. That's very, very cool. When you said Carpenter, you know who I thought of?
Who?
It's Karen Carpenter.
Yes, I do that too when I hear her name.
Because
You
she was kind of a prodigy, right?
Karen Carpenter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. She's just a fabulous singer.
Unbelievable.
She's right. Yeah. No, um, yeah, yeah. It's. I always think of I did too at first. I thought of Karen Carpenter.
No relation.
No relation. No. You know who she is? When Saturday Night Live did their I was going to say
80th.
85th.
I don't
Oh,
think I'll
that
be around for the 85th.
no, I don't think so. Her and Paul Simon did a song together.
Oh, that was her.
That was
Ah, okay. Okay. Well, I'll have to
yeah,
take a look more at that. Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
She's pretty good. Yeah, yeah, I like her.
I'm sure like you see just a ton of talent, like the different and different from different, I'll say even probably music worlds, right? From jazz to
Yeah,
classical to
yeah.
rock, right? So I'm gonna shift a bit here from the music world because you talked about a book.
Oh no, I was joking. About-
Are you
I always
writing
say
a
that.
book?
No, uh, people always ask me if I've ever thought about writing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you?
I think maybe I would love that because I got stories galore, but I think certain people might need to be dead first.
Wow, that gets people already excited for that book.
Yeah.
That would be a neat project. That would be a really neat project to do, I think, because it would
You
be
know what? I'd love that.
because I think like when our last discussion, you talked about James Jamerson
Yes,
being a gigantic influence on you and you not even knowing it.
that's right.
And it's funny because I've gone back since that conversation, because I didn't really know Jamerson's work very well. I knew him by
Yeah,
name. It's
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of like Jaco Pastorius a bit. Like
yeah,
you don't listen to a lot of his music, but you see things that are just kind of out of this world.
yeah, yeah.
And Jamerson was like kind of in that kind of set, but you never knew really who he was, right?
No, just because I mean, you can see how everything's grown. Like you can find out anybody who, you know, anybody who's playing any record at any time. Information highway is just so large,
Oh,
nowadays you minute detail. But then uh musicians really didn't get credits on records,
how
maybe
that's weird. Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So unless you were in the know and knew somebody in those circles, you wouldn't really know who was playing, you know.
Wow.
And there's so many great artists that, like James Jamerson, is right there. It's like, holy smokes, the amount of records that he played on. No,
Well,
I love the story in Standing in the Shadows of Motown, where Marvin Gaye wrote "What's Going On," and I love the whole premise of having a studio 24 hours at your disposal, kind of like schedule yourself in and,
yep.
Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye,
Oh,
Supreme, all that kind of stuff. And um, he wanted to record it. He was, nighttime and he wanted to record it then. So he went out, drove around to pick up the musicians, and they're mostly jazz musicians that were in the Motown thing. So they were gigging. He went to every club that everybody. And James Jamerson was so drunk that he played "What's Going On," the actual track, lying down on the floor because he couldn't sit up. Now, this
unbelievable.
isn't my story. This is on the in the movie, and I thought, wow, that's unbelievable because most people can't play like that when they're like
Oh,
chirpy.
sober.
Yeah, yeah. The hook, that's what they called him.
Oh my.
Played with one finger like that.
Oh my
I
goodness.
can't imagine how he did. I haven't seen much video of him. So
So are you? So you mentioned going to Japan,
uh-huh.
and you're working there, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
primarily
they're
the purpose you're
commuting.
doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
have you got like new, I'll say, people or artists that excite you that like are kind of like what they're doing is pretty neat in any of the genres or the multi genres of music these days?
You mean of ours or out there?
First of all, of yours,
Yeah,
and then others that you kind of, because I know like some get kind of popularity. I mean, a
yeah,
number of them. Like
yeah,
I think of like right now, I'm thinking of Billy Strings. I
yeah.
think of Marcus King. I think
Uh-huh.
of Gary Clark Jr. But
Right.
you're right in this world, and
Mhm.
you must see talent just staggers you sometimes.
Yes, yes, I do, and it's different scene. Bit of a different scene now. I mean, it was. How do I put this? Maybe I'm going off topic here, but uh, back then, I guess we're saying that a lot today. Back then, it was like
It all
back
came from there, though. You got to go back there to see where it came from.
you have to go back. It was more of a community, I would
Mm,
say.
right, right.
So everybody kind of knew everybody, and everybody hung out together, and it was a really big community. So I don't know what I'm getting at, but um,
That
we kind of
community,
rode the waves with them,
right,
when they
right.
started to get popular and travel on all that kind. You kind of rode the thing with them. I don't know that it's that way nowadays.
Okay.
I guess I'm answering in terms of who excites you
Right.
nowadays. Um, that's funny. Maybe I still got the Tokyo brain on, but I can't think of anybody. I mean, as far as our artists go, I like a lot of these. I don't remember their names, but I like a lot of these neo soul groups, artists. And there's quite a few of them that I've seen around. I just saw one last night on Kimmel, actually.
Oh,
Um, what was her name? It was an all-female band. Um, I'm sorry, name escapes me, but she was really great. I never heard her, seen her before. So he's surprised. Yeah, I'm mumbling here I'm trying to think of some names, but I don't follow what's out there very much, unless I just kind of happen on it, and I guess maybe I'm too busy doing what I'm doing.
well, I've got a comment. I've got a question for you because music now is just so available.
Mm,
And when I mean that, like it's both of us probably have our phones within arm length having this conversation. And we can pretty much pick up that phone and find any song that's ever been
yeah,
recorded in seconds.
yeah,
And it's fun to do. Like it's fun to do, especially when you're out and you hear a song that you like. You do Shazam, it tells you what the song is. You can go and pull it
yeah,
down, get it on your favorites or whatever
yeah.
on Spotify.
Mhm.
But it's like how often now, and I don't do this hardly at all anymore, but sit back and like listen, put an album on a turntable and listen to a music song or an album side.
Yeah,
It's one of those things that when my younger years, I would just cherish that when like a new album came out, and you would just sit back and absorb that. And I don't do that anymore at all. Like I like when somebody like today they drop the albums, right? They put them on, they go
yeah,
blasting. They've got 500 gazillion streams like in 3 days. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
and it's like, okay, but I've not heard a song on it. Like, and I
Well,
just,
that's
what, how do you see that in the world? Because it's like, it's changed music to a large extent that way, right? As far as how you consume your music. Like people love playlists. For example, if you're having a dinner party, you just stick a
yeah,
playlist on and you hear all your Christmas carols as an example. Really hard to do 40 years ago with like albums, right?
that's right. So
But
clumsy.
do they people sit back and like really savor that music they're listening to? You know what I mean?
No, I would say no. Uh, it's I watch my kids, my grandkids, and they all have phones, of course, the latest,
Yeah, yeah.
which is crazy right there. But uh, and I watch them scroll through songs, like they listen to 6 seconds of a song, and then next song,
That's another thing.
and
Yeah.
it's like it is so portable and so available that you don't know what to settle. You don't have enough time to go, oh, I like that. I want to check it out more. But I know exactly what you're saying. Um, there's so much of it out there. It's
Oh,
just that to digest it and really sink into it. I mean, I'm with you. I used to love, and that's another, the other side of that is that's probably why selling music is not so easy nowadays. Like, it used to be where you knew about a release. Everybody knew about a
oh
release
yeah.
of their favorite group,
And you
and
waited for it.
you waited for it, and you got it, and you listened to it all
Oh,
day over and over, and you read the liner notes
oh
over
yeah.
and over, if there were any.
Yep.
Uh, so it's a different experience. Now it's like, oh yeah, it's great. Vroom, and then next. So like really chilling out and there's a big difference between listening to it all
Right.
or listening to your favorite for the moment at least, and that's a big thing. That's a real big difference. That would be the biggest difference of the, you know,
Do you think it's shifted because you're in the business?
yeah.
Do you think it's changed how the music's made? Like as far as like how you go through it? Like when you're sitting down doing your arranging, producing of like different artists
Mhm.
with Elma Records, is that a different well, I'll compare it to what you did when you did the Christmas album with Anne Murray in the orchestra and doing it off the floor. Like
Mhm.
is that like a significant difference, but still there's a joyful thing that you get out of it?
Uh, Out of having an orchestra off the floor recording live,
Versus what how you would go about doing like an album or a song with an artist today.
big big difference. I mean, um, there's a lot of stuff on the live off the floor that you kind of got to overlook, or that becomes part of the charm, or whatever. Because uh, the biggest thing, well, not the biggest thing, but one of the biggest things between recording back then and now is that you can fix anything. You know, back
Ah.
then, if you couldn't sing in tune, that's the way the record came out of tune.
Yes.
So it didn't come out, you know. But then again, you know, it's funny because, like, well, I'll finish that thought first, but I have another, you know, example. Uh, you can fix anything nowadays. And as a matter of fact, you spend most of your time making records now, fixing, making
Okay.
it, making it perfect.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it's a little out of tune, well, you tune it, you know,
Yeah.
um, and it ends up sounding perfect, you know, which it's not a Milli Vanilli thing, but, you know, it's a big difference. But
Right.
having said that, and what I was thinking of, what I was going to interrupt myself with earlier is, um, there, you know, there were times when I'd get hired to write a jingle or, you know, like, and when it was a copy of something like, you know, I don't know, Bridge Over Troubled Water, whatever.
Right.
I can't think of any really out of tune songs right now. Japan Head. Um, Definitely Japan Head. Um,
That could be the title for this episode.
there you go. Japan Head
There-
speaks again. Uh, but I was amazed at, you know, after not hearing the song, well, after hearing the song in the arena of having to duplicate it,
yes.
how many songs were so out of tune, the vocals. And, you know, when I'd hear it, I go, oh, come on, that wasn't it. And as I'm playing you the original, and it's like, holy,
Oh, really?
yeah. Like so many things our ears just were fine with, you know?
It
They're not fine with that today because everything is perfectly in tune.
right. Right.
And so I don't know if you want to call it charm or whatever, but that all of that is kind of taken out. Like, you know, I've thought about that. Man, like, you couldn't make a record like that nowadays. There's
No.
no way you can make a record and it be out of tune. I mean, geez, there were some R&B songs like uh, uh, Wilson Pickett had
Mm.
a had a he sang out of tune sometimes, but it was so soulful that you never even thought of it as, "Oh, okay, he's a little sharp, big deal," you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, forgetting the exact song that I'm thinking about, but yeah, he used to. And Otis Redding, he was one guy to sing "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay."
Yep.
And
Yep.
that gets pretty sharp, that song, but
It
they're
worked.
like they're soul, you know, geniuses. You wouldn't want to, yeah,
You
touch
don't
anything.
well, it's interesting when you say that because I think of and these are stories that I've heard that
Uh-huh.
probably the most recent one is I think it's in Roxanne. where apparently Sting is pushed onto the piano and his butt hits the piano, and they left it in the recording, and it's not really part of the song
Really?
at all. And I thought, like, how cool is
Yes.
that? And then I heard another one about Aerosmith and Sweet Emotion, where they have the shaker at the beginning, and they
Uh-huh.
claim that's a sugar pack.
Oh, could be.
And I just think, like, you really had to be creative to come up with some of these sounds, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah, if you
like,
don't have it, you make it. Yeah.
and it's kind of like, is that, well, I don't know that you can even do that now, to your point about it's got to be perfect, right? It's got to be.
You could, but you could do it for that it sounds more real, you know? Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You could shift the tone and everything on it. I
Yeah,
guess that's true.
you know what you just made me think of? I was in a session years and years ago. Uh, and uh, Brian Barlow, percussionist, did all the percussion work for many years on all sessions. Little prank, the engineers getting sound, give me some bass, give me some guitar, blah 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 blah. Next, but he gets to percussion, and Brian's going like this with a shaker, and he's not hearing anything, and he's like, turning the knob here, turning the knob there. It was a thing that it was the thing that Brian had for a gag. There was no beads in it, right? So it was just
It's
so
empty.
yeah, it's empty. And engineer goes, "Yeah, you get out of here." Oh yeah, we had a lot of that's worth a book right there.
Oh no, that's a very interesting, because I
Yeah.
like, to me, I think those things are still fun to learn about.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you hear about certain things, like, so your friend Barry Keane,
Uh-huh.
drummer for Gordon Lightfoot, he told me about the story behind the wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald.
Mhm.
And I'll leave it for people to listen to that episode so they can hear Barry actually tell the story.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
good.
one of those things that is just astounding. I heard this also. You probably have lots of examples like this, where people
Mhm.
just they get these recordings that things all just came together one time, and they actually had the recording button pressed on, and they
Yes.
could not duplicate it. Like, it couldn't get better. And I heard that, and I think do you ever watch Rick Beato on YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he said that Xanadu by Rush was recorded in one take. Do you know that story?
I don't know that story, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Really? Because,
Yeah, it was Terry Brown producing or
yeah, Terry, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like,
I could see Terry being ready for it, the guys pull it off. Huh? That's great.
I just think stories like that are so, there. It's like, um, they're unbelievable. Like, it's like, nothing is what it seems. That whole concept and the whole music business, by and large. Like, you were saying about how most back in the 60s you go to, and so many musicians didn't get credit for their work.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't know who was playing. So, I mean, I think the Beach Boys, is it Pet Sounds, that's famous for this, right? That the Wrecking Crew played all the instruments on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Glenn Campbell. He did a
Oh,
lot.
Glenn Campbell. Oh boy. There's a guy.
Yeah, he did a lot of those records, the Beach Boys and
It's
Wrecking Crew.
it it's kind of like, I can remember how disappointed I was when I learned some of these stories, right?
Is that right?
Because you're thinking, like, you see the albums with the band members, and they're all got with their musical instruments, right? And you're thinking, like,
Mhm.
how did he ever play that? And you find out, well, he didn't actually play
He
it.
did it. It's easy. You went like this. You play. No, I mean, that's probably at the production level. Like, I've had to do that. I'm recently doing one right now
Really?
where I had to replace some stuff. Yeah. It's no names on that one, but it happens,
Oh,
and as a producer, you need You need it to sound. You need the
Right.
production. I mean, that happens. It's not an exact science in music or making records at all. Even with modern technology, you can, you know, um, uh, it's not an exact science. So somebody can go in there and just play it ever slow. And this is the difference too. This is what happens in a perfect world. You want to make everything perfect. Oh
Yes.
yeah, you make that guy play in tune and right on the grid, beat wise. And then some guy walks in and just plays it loosely, and it's like you can't duplicate that. It's like I can't tell you how many sessions I've been in where I don't know, guitar player, bass player, whoever, including me, go, let me do that again. I can do that better, and sometimes the control room is raving how great it was, and you're trying to beat that, and you can't even get close to it.
It's wow.
And then months later you realize, yeah, so things like that magic happens like that, and
So that's still real. Like you
yeah,
still get that magic. That's kind of where I was trying to get to, even with the
yeah,
question about it, is like that magic still happens working with musicians and we got it. It was recorded. We did that.
yes, oh yeah, oh that happens, yeah, and maybe the engineer fixes a few things. Okay, it's got to compete with this world that we're in. I'm not saying I don't like
Yes.
perfect, but I don't like perfectly on the grid and totally in tune. Yeah, no, you lose all the rawness of it. All the what's the word I'm looking for? Earthiness of it.
Yeah. Yeah. The rough
Yeah,
edges are important to what we do, right?
so important, and really in music, we as an arranger, you always or a songwriter, um, if you write something really, how am I putting this? I don't remember. Japan had his not letting me remember the, the word for it. Um, um, tension and release is what it is.
Ah,
So
okay.
I mean, if something is so tense the whole way through, it's just going to be normal. It's going to either be noise to you or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's the release that makes the tension so great, and it's the tension that makes the release so great. So that's a real thing with writing and arranging. Tension, release. You know.
It's it's one of those things. Like I'm thinking. Like there's so many things. Like I think of the movie Ray,
Mm,
and you've
yeah,
got they're in the hotel room. I've mentioned this before because I think it captures an amazing sense of what emotion goes into playing. And he's just I think the scene is set where one of the band members, one of the singers, is pregnant. She's telling
mhm,
him in the hotel room. She's very upset. And he like you can just see his music focus as he doesn't really see reality. Well, he didn't see, right, to start with, but it
yeah,
was just like another level goes on, right? And he starts to play the tune to Hit the Road Jack. And whether it's made up or not, the scene, it's so to me illustrative of what you're kind of talking about in the sense that that passion, that emotion finds its way down into the fingers of the player, whether they're on a bass, a guitar, a piano,
yeah, yeah.
that you can't, or a voice for that matter. You just can't, like it comes and goes once and you can't get it again, right?
That's absolutely true. It's a very real thing. The in the moment thing.
Oh, yeah.
It happened in the moment. He did this, and that one reacted and fed off of that. It's it's an in the moment thing that you can't duplicate. It's like you can't duplicate your emotion
Yeah.
exact. It's not an exact science,
No,
right?
absolutely not.
How you're feeling, you might drag a phrase or midway through phrase or speed up. I don't like speeding up, but um, yeah, just not that you plan to, it just happened.
Right, right.
So
Because
It,
you plan it and it becomes stagnant almost. There's something about it that just doesn't fit, right?
yeah, and when you play something over and over and over and again, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Is that not the truth, though?
It's the yeah, totally. I mean, I know that as a producer and as a player, you know,
Oh
I'm
man,
guilty of that sometimes too because you play I played it and I know I could play it better,
right?
but define better, you know.
Yes,
Uh, yeah, so but it's a thing you get in your head that, no, I gotta fix it, no, I gotta fix it, and it didn't need any fixing. But so yeah, that's happened so many times. I mean,
and then you get other ears hear it, right? Like I think of examples of what are the hits in the sense that what becomes popular with the mass or audience and what doesn't. And often that's not what the musician is thinking going to be the hit, right?
yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's funny if you go back and I mean, I don't know, some of the not so good bands that became famous,
Right.
even they have some value to,
Absolutely.
that I think now, well, it's not bad. That's a thing. They got a thing.
It's
Oh,
very true.
sorry. Um, yeah, and hey, who's calling at this time of night? Sorry, that'll go away.
Do you
Analog phone.
do you like is there moments that you can remember working with different artists that kind of brought that on like over the years? Because you worked with so many, like you said, you like I opened with even working with Michael Bublé,
Hmm.
and like he just becomes his name becomes synonymous with a smooth, wonderful voice, right? Like that
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of melts in your heart.
yeah, yeah. Well, Michael, I didn't work with Michael a lot. I just did a few arrangements with him. I never played for him.
Hmm.
Uh, he was a lounge singer in Toronto, huh?
Yes, and like it's crazy his
Yeah,
background.
totally nuts. Yeah. I didn't know him then, but I did some stuff for him, some arranging. I did a few Juno Awards shows for him, and I don't know, a bunch of stuff like that. But uh, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, his thing is he doesn't produce any of his stuff. He comes in and sings.
Hmm.
That's it.
Right.
He's not. I mean, he's a real musical guy, and he digs what everybody's and he understands what everybody's doing. But it'll be whoever's producing, David Foster will
Right.
put the whole show together and then, okay, you can come in and sing now. It's kind of how that goes. Uh, but, I mean, there's, um, other examples, other players. I don't know if I told you this last time either. I gotta actually watch the previous show so that I know not to have the same book. I'm easily led. Um, we do a series called One Take. Did I
Okay.
mention that
No,
last time?
no, no, no.
Okay, so this deals with the very thing there, with the in the moment. It's like to the ultimate.
It's a
Because
show?
that's no, no, no. It's a series of albums.
Okay, okay.
So we had uh, Joey DiFrancesco was a good friend of mine, and we were talking about this very thing. I don't know when it was. Maybe it was in the 90s, early 90s, something like that. Anyway, how, and he's like the in the moment guy of the world,
Okay.
was. Yeah. So I phoned him a few hours later. So I got a great idea. Why don't we do something called One Take?
Oh,
You get
wow.
one take,
Okay.
no fixes, no
Oh, cool.
overdubs,
That's
no
cool.
punching in. What you play then, but the like the kicker to that is none of these guys have ever played together as a group.
Right. Right.
So I had always had one international big name, great, great player like Joey DiFrancesco was the first one. It was Joey, Guido Basso on flugelhorn, Lauren Lofsky on guitar, and Vito Rezza on drums. And the idea was this, and I was ready for I had the crew come in in the morning, and I had about 5 different recorders, like different methods. I had a 2-track Studer, which
Oh, wow.
was basically mixed live. You can't do it. It's not multi-track. It's just stereo. And I had a Pro Tool system to record for. I'm thinking at some point surround sound is going to be around. There you go.
Oh, wow.
And you have to have that for a mix.
Yeah.
And then I had a Master Link, and I had a couple other things. Multi-track, the 2-inch. We ended up going with the 1/2-inch Master, which didn't mix. We went direct. This was the ultimate one take. And I was on the floor, so I asked the crew, I want you to not only be ready before they come in, but I want you to be in record when they walk in. So
Oh.
they start coming in, and the guys, was he was adjusting machine, and all that, the 1/2-inch that we recorded on. And Joey was out on the floor. They had just met, literally just met on the session. And Guido, Vito, and Lauren. Sounds like a legal firm. They had played together, obviously, but not with Joey. Joey's like a monster, right? And within 5 minutes, these guys are all about music. Within 5 minutes, Joey starts playing, and I knew they were going to go into something because I could see the other guys kind of going, picking up their instruments, kind of, getting ready. I see Guido.
Oh, wow.
Ran into the control room because he was doing tones on the 1/2-inch machine. I said, "Go in the record. Go in the record." And he said, "But I pushed them out of the way, and I went into record."
Oh,
And
man.
I
This is
only
sounds.
missed the first little part of Joey's intro because I knew he was playing an intro. I could feel that. And the tune started, and that's what you hear on the album.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's the only time we had to do some manipulation because I had all the other machines running. I just needed the intro because I didn't have the 1/2-inch machine, right? So I had to add it in afterwards, but it's like about 4 seconds worth. Anyway, and the whole album is like that. It's one take. They didn't know what they were playing.
Oh,
We did
wow.
there's 4 in the series, and they all ran like that. Nobody had any predetermined. They just sat down and called out a tune. They each got a turn to call out a tune.
Oh,
And I
that's
tell you, there's no more magic than those albums.
so. Can we listen to those albums? Like, are they on Spotify or like they?
Absolutely, absolutely.
What are they
Uh,
called? Like one takes?
it's this is the problem. When each DSP will give it a slightly different. Not they don't give it a different name. Maybe it's even us that gave them slightly. Like one take series. Well, here's the differences. One take, volume 1. Some spell out volume 1.
Oh, okay, right.
Some go V1, which is fine. We understand that as mortals, but the machines don't understand that.
No,
The
right.
title,
Yes, yeah.
right?
Yep, yep.
So yeah, but that's what it is. It's one take. And there's volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4.
And you did this with Alma Records too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How long ago is this?
Well, that was 2003.
Okay,
We did it first time.
so after this, that's where I'm going to be going because I want to hear this because I like I think there's something about humanity that finds
Mhm.
itself into this. And when there's a
Yeah.
chance of recording that, I think it's unbelievable. Do you know who talks about this a lot? Is Steve Lukather of Toto.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Because he's so big on this momentary kind of magical moment.
Yeah.
And it's, I find it so interesting because you're bringing it to the table that it's still there, Doug. It's still, it still happens. Like, it's not gone. Yes, we have perfection, but there's
Yes.
still those moments that are
Yeah.
human that you can't duplicate.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna send you those after I get off here. Do you like just listen to streaming, or you have files too, or what?
I go anyway. Like, I just, it
Okay.
doesn't matter to me. I just like,
Well,
it's when you kind of see, that's why I use the example of from Ray. And there's another one with I think it's called Love and Mercy, which is the Brian Wilson story.
uh-huh.
And it's split because the first part, the young Brian Wilson is played by Paul Dano,
No?
and the old um, Brian Wilson is played by John Cusack.
Oh, really?
And a big part of it talks about when they were with the Wrecking Crew, and he went in and worked with them, and they thought he was out of his mind, and then they, like, Good Vibrations comes out of that.
Mhm.
And it's
Wow.
like, and I thought, like, how cool that someone, and that's my question here. I know that I'm a roundabout kind of verbose way of asking some of my questions, but when you're arranging, do you have this in your head what you want? Like, in the creative mode of what you're trying to do? Like, do you have a sound that you're trying to get to? And can your emotion and passion really change that as you're going through it?
Yes and yes. Uh, I I'm I'm old school as far as writing scores. I
Mm.
do pencil and paper. Everybody does, even the great arrangers, they
Oh, yeah.
use, machines, which is fine. The reason to do that is because you can just print out your parts. You don't have to send it to a copyist,
Right.
and you get a preview of what it's going to sound like, kind of with real terrible sounds. But unless you got a good setup. But I, me, I'm one of those. There's a few different ways that people arrange, and none is better than the other. But some people sit there with a keyboard and play into a sequencer, and do that whole thing, and then they print out their parts,
Hmm.
which is fine. Uh, I write pencil to paper, but I think about something for as long as I can. Like,
Mm.
I'm constantly hearing and thinking about the arrangement when I need to do like a whole album's worth. I mean, I used to go do Rick James records in a night, you know. Uh, just overnight, I'd write everything. And in LA, you can get 20 copyists, where over here you got one copyist, and you do all they got like whole teams of copyists. So that's not a big problem. But I would think about it, driving along, doing whatever, going over the arrangement, and then boom, I just write it all out really quick, you know.
Ah, okay.
So, um, yeah, people think I'm a very quick writer. I am, because I got it all in my head at that point,
Right.
I rarely sit down and just write from scratch, just I'll think about it in my head. I'll know what I'm going to write, and I got the arrangement perfected by the time I go to write it. So, yeah,
So
kind of how I do.
you have a playing machine in your head as you try to adjust these
Yeah,
and what you want to hear.
yeah, yeah. It's good. I can, not bragging, but I can write arrangements without an instrument. So, um,
Wow.
yeah. So,
When
um,
when did you first know you could do that? Because that's That's not a normal thing to me. Like it's like because you can hear the sound and then you can write that like you're writing a letter with an alphabet, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've written many arrangements on planes.
Wow.
Yeah,
And you can just hear it. Like it's just.
yeah, yeah.
When did you recognize you could do that?
First time I did it.
That's cool.
No, I always had. I love arranging. I was always really fascinated by this sound and that sound together, and this note and that note. And I studied with Gordon Delamont. I was his youngest student ever. And,
Well, I remember this coming up in the last time we talked because
okay.
you looked him up, right?
Oh yeah, I told you the whole story. Yeah, that's right.
And it
I
was like a crazy, like to me, when someone has that kind of drive to see someone, they get
Yeah.
in.
You know what? Exactly right. Exactly. And same with an artist that has to not become famous, but has to be successful and tour and be out there making records. Same attitude prevails. Yeah. That,
When you're saying that to me, and this is where I kind of link it to the bass playing, is bass playing bass and then singing a melody that's different than the bass is
hmm
to me almost a like gift. Like
Yeah.
that's really hard to do too.
You know what? I wish I could say, I wish I could agree, but I sing terribly. I'm not a good singer at all. And I shouldn't say that. I mean, I got good ears. I should be, but, uh, yeah, it's funny when I was in that group
Right?
where I lost my bass,
Yeah.
12, I was the lead singer of the group, you know. I
And you
shared
never even noticed it, probably. You
no.
just played the bass and you sang.
Yeah, yeah, it was no problem at all. Now, I mean, I went on, I did Ian's tour and he asked me to sing and I went, "Really? Why would you ask me to sing?" I think it's more the sound of my singing voice than anything. Well, like anything, once you use that muscle,
Yeah,
uh,
no, it's practice
but
too, right?
yeah, we gotta, I forget who said it wasn't my line, but I like it. I had to quit singing on account of my throat. Really? What happened? Well, people threatened to cut it.
Gotta like that. Gotta like that line. That's a good line for sure. So you did you do much of the tour with I think it was Ian Thomas, Murray McLaughlin, Mark
Jordan,
Jordan, and there's a lady there too, right?
Cindy Church,
So
Cindy.
you toured with them.
Yeah, um, not for long periods of time. The story I told you about phoning everybody
Yes,
and
yes, yeah.
driving people. Yeah, I did about 3 or 4 weeks with them then, and then I did another stint. Um, yeah, yeah, I toured with them.
Because
I mean,
I weren't they out doing that out in the like out in BC here?
just now,
Yeah, just recently.
that was their still haven't gone tour. The end of it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, still here or something like that. They've been doing that for 3 years. They kept on getting more bookings, more bookings, but they're finally out of it now.
Ah, okay. Because I was hoping to get out to see them. I never did. They were very close to us here. They played it was a lunch kind of show, I think.
Lunch at
Event.
Allen's is the
Yeah,
name of
that's that lunch at Allen's,
it.
and they played Chilliwack, which is pretty close to us here.
Yeah.
But I just didn't get there, so it's
Oh,
interesting
it's
to
too
me.
bad. It's great. Beautiful stories. I mean, when you hear them every night for a month, it's a little
It
long.
wears.
Yeah, it doesn't wear. It's just, you kind of, how long you got until the next song.
Yes, yes. No
Yeah,
doubt, no doubt.
yeah. But no, they're fantastic.
So
They're really.
in the other conversation we had, you talked about Seinfeld opening for you guys with when you're playing with Anne Murray. I
Yeah.
think it was in Las Vegas.
Yep.
So, and I couldn't help but thinking about it. I'm going, so did you have anything to do with the bass line that starts the Seinfeld show?
No, but if I talked about that, I must have told you that I was expecting to do that show. We
Oh, you
were,
were?
oh yeah, we were. I mean, Jerry and I were very tight. It'd be like whoever got up first in the morning. Hey, yep, breakfast. Yeah, see you downstairs.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and he taught me to eat matzah and eggs
Ah.
with peanut butter. You know,
Oh, there's a mix. There's a
big great
mix.
ingredients. Yeah. Uh, but the very last day, we were at the Riviera Hotel, having breakfast. Matzah and eggs, and I had written him. I may have told you this, but
No,
I
no.
had written him a theme to come on with. We had an orchestra,
Oh,
right?
cool. Yeah.
There was, he's opening for Anne. So every night, we kind of, the stage manager would get us, seated when it's that time of the show when Jerry was just about to come up. So we spent 10 to 15 minutes sitting behind the screen before we went on.
Right.
I said, Jerry, I'm going to write you something, okay? We'll play you off. Because it was like, no, it was like, okay, end the show, boom, close the curtain, and comes on. I said, I'm going to write you something to play. It's a playoff for you, your own. So I wrote that one in a plane, actually.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of the before. And he was so freaked out by it. He said, I never had a playoff. This is unbelievable. I feel like so big, coming off. And the crowd does, with the music going, the crowd
Oh,
does
yeah.
get.
Pumped up.
So this is after a couple of years now. We didn't know it would be the last time we worked together, but
Right.
it was one of those. So we ran breakfast.
Show business.
Yeah, we knew that we didn't have anything booked after this, not 2 years. But so I said, okay, Jerry, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to write you a score for this, and you got to get a copy. Just send it to a copyist. So I wrote it right there at the table.
Oh, wow.
Just, it was like a playoff. So it was,
Matzah and peanut butter and an arrangement.
exactly. So I gave him the score and I said, you go get a copy. And as he went to grab it, I pulled it back. I said, but when you get a show, who's doing your music?
Ah!
He said, you are. So I've talked to him plenty since, I, always, rib him about that. Oh, rib him. That's probably like, I would say that would be about a $60 million rib.
No kidding.
At least probably 100 now.
But it's a very kind of, well, now it's a very recognizable bass riff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Like you had to have inspired that.
I don't know. I can't say, but
I'll bet he did. I bet that did. Because it's like, there's not too many shows to me that has that, like a very distinctive kind of bass sound to
yeah. Oh yeah.
that to it, right? Like it's a singular bass line, and like
Yeah.
there's not a whole orchestra behind it, and it
Nothing.
accents many scenes throughout the
Yeah.
series too, right?
Yeah. 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 It's like a typical machine bass funk
Oh,
slap thing. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I don't think I could say that. I don't know. Who
it,
knows what inspired, but
wouldn't it
yeah,
be funny connection? He says, "Yeah, that came out of because we toured in Las Vegas, remember? And you wrote me that arrangement."
and that's when I call my lawyer. Yeah, I remember. Do you? So I mean, I've seen him a bunch since, and he was here in Toronto
Oh,
at Superstars. Remember that club out in Dixie and 401?
yes, yes, yes.
And I brought my friend with me, just a friend, with me, and we went backstage afterwards. And I said, "So what are you up to? What are you doing?" He said, "You got a show coming up. I'm doing a pilot for a show." And I said, "Oh yeah, what's the show about?" He said, "Nothing."
Nothing.
Yeah, he did that thing,
Oh,
said nothing, and I went, "Okay." And next thing you
wow.
know, it's the Jerry Seinfeld show.
He already knew that's what they were going to
Yeah,
do because it's like it is. I love that statement. Like it's a show about nothing. I
yeah,
think it's such a cool way of like. There's no kind of like apologetic or apologist part to this as far as like it's about nothing. Like we're not trying
yeah,
to be in any way arrogant. But it was hilarious and so
yeah.
poignant show, right? Like
Oh
not
yeah,
that there's anything wrong with that.
yeah. Well, it's funny, all my friends that he almost came to see the Boomers.
Oh, cool.
When we were in LA. We were playing
Ah,
the
okay.
whatever that big club, not big club, but the famous club. Uh, yeah,
That's
Japan Break.
I didn't say that. You were a member of Ian Thomas's Boomers for
Yeah.
years. You're still
Oh
kind of
yeah.
a member, right?
Years.
That's a
Yeah, we started that in 90 or 91, and we did 4 albums, 4 great records.
no, that's
And
they are very I was going to say it's amazing what you've gotten to be connected with. That is like
yeah,
spectacular work. And
yeah.
I was going to say since I last talked to you, we went and saw Seinfeld
Oh,
here
did
in
oh he was
Abbotsford.
that's where he started his tour, right? Is that right?
Something like that. I don't know.
Or ended it? One of the two. Yeah,
I'll tell you, I was a surprise present from my wife, and I was blown away because I was going to say like because there's certain kind of iconic figures that over the years you don't get to see them. Like Gretzky as an example. I said
yeah,
I don't care what it costs, we're going to see Gretzky on his farewell tour because we never saw him, right? And
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're not going to get to see the greatest people. And Seinfeld to me is one of the greats of comedy. It's unbelievable to me.
Oh
And
yeah,
this is going to lead into another question, but
okay.
he was he had lost nothing. The whole place. This is where the Abbotsford Canucks play. Like it's a
Yeah,
big arena.
yeah, yeah,
And he killed. Like it was
yeah,
unbelievable. And he talked about everything from I'll say AI to couples counseling. And it was
yeah,
yeah, he had just it's amazing to see people that are that gifted. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
and you're in that world, so you kind of know that. But what it brings me to, I'm gonna say, I'm very interested to see where you're at with this, is he talked about AI and he said, I don't need an artificial intelligence. I don't need intelligence. It doesn't that's not part of this world. He said,
Yeah.
I need dumb.
You need what?
I need dumb,
Dumb.
which was hilarious. But if I bring this into where our conversation has gone, so where do you see AI in the music world? Like you hear about it a lot. People talk about it. Well, it's the end of creative songwriting. And I don't know that I agree with that. But are you faced with that in what you do now?
Um, okay, give me that again. Give me that question again.
So, when in talking with like Seinfeld had talked about AI in it, and he was saying, I don't need artificial intelligence. I don't actually need intelligence. I need dumbness." And he
Right.
kind of it was a big funny kind of thing. But it comes back to the creative world, right? And many people talk about AI replacing creativity, and in music, it's all about creativity. Do you see that? Well, not the word is not having an impact. It's do you see that like there's always that polar thing is saying, well, it's going to take over music.
Right.
Are you faced with that, like in what you're doing today? Like, is it like, um, how do I say, taking things over, or are you finding it like, actually, this is pretty cool what it can do for us? Like, do you have like, do you see it very much in all what you're doing?
I am not experiencing it. The whole
Interesting.
industry is. I mean, you get asked now when you put out a release, is there any AI in it?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, because there's like legal problems and all kinds of stuff. So
Ah,
everybody's very concerned. Plus, with AI, they're worried about duping the system where you're creating false billions of streams, right? That's
okay.
easily
Yes.
done in AI, and you basically have a song that sounds like a hit song. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but uh, you create a song that sounds just like a hit song. People think it's that song or that artist or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Okay.
You get billions of streams. They even Universal actually even asked us what is the reason for the increase in streams. The shop Spotify wanted to know if there's anything different. You're touring. Is this group touring? Is it doing
Oh, really?
shows? Has it gotten any syncs? All that kind of stuff. Is it? No, it's a jazz trio. I don't know. And it wasn't.
Interesting.
But yeah, they actually selected us to quiz.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Well,
so AI, yeah, I mean, we're not involved. I have a guy who actually fixes my computers, who is a bit of a musician, and he's sending me the stuff all the time that he's done with AI.
oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I guess if you get good at anything, you can get good at that,
Right.
making
Right.
AI songs. But it's the in the moment, it's the heart and soul, it's that kind of stuff that is not there.
It's the
So that
human part.
yeah, that little piece of the puzzle. Yeah, totally.
Well, I mean, part of my picture on the AI, and I don't know how this necessarily fits in the music, but I find it very useful for the non-human stuff that we clutter our worlds with, and like finding out information and trying to
Yeah,
get stuff that you know about. It's like I think of like like as an example, Peter, it's like a college or university question would be compare Ray Bradbury. Okay, like let's go to music. Look, compare Ray Charles with Thelonious Monk's work, right?
yeah,
In 1,000 word essay. And it's like AI will do that instantly.
yes,
And that would be like a question at university that I would absolutely hate because you could go through all this work and you've created nothing, right? You just created a 1,000 word essay.
yeah,
And it's never going to create a Thelonious. It's never going to create a Ray Charles, right? And
yeah,
that's why I asked the question, because I think it can be very useful for pulling stuff together, but it's still the artist, the human, that's got to create the thing.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Whatever means it is, there's got to be a human behind it asking the question, or
For
yeah,
sure.
it's yeah.
Well, I was going to say it's been kind of interesting to talk to you again today, despite your Japan head. I think that's pretty funny. So, in talking, we've gone through a lot of music, touring, different musicians and stuff,
Yeah.
and we found out that you you would like to do a book, but you don't have a book. So, if you ever think about wanting to do a book, I'll put my hand in to help. I'd love
Okay.
to do something like that.
Okay.
Anything you'd like to kind of wrap up with, that that you haven't kind of talked about, or that you'd like to just kind of leave with people? We talked about one of the things you talked the last time, which I thought was great, and I think it's so important in life. It's like a life question. You want to hear the bad notes.
Yes. If you want to learn, you have to hear the bad
And
notes
I
come.
thought that's like it's like hearing someone say you got to know what to leave out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Uh,
have anything like that that kind of buzzes through your head, or like just kind of like what you've kind of gone through in and over the years? Because you've seen like literally everything. Like you're pretty unique, I would say, as far as even in the recording world. Um,
yeah, yeah. I, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. Like my mind automatically goes to, let's keep some more of the heart and soul
mm,
into our music, than perfection.
ah,
Uh, because I mean, here's a really an example. Jacob Collier. Do you know Jacob Collier?
that name sounds familiar.
Oh, go
Where would I
listen.
know him from?
Uh, he's just made a big, huge splash in the music world in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 or 7. Now, it really came out of COVID. He's the first guy to make a multi-voiced video. Where you see the different.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Well, he was the first guy, I think,
Oh, okay.
but he is a freak. He's a total freak of nature. He's got the best ears I've ever heard.
Really?
He sings perfectly. He's got ultra perfect pitch, not just perfect pitch, ultra. He's like he can sing a quarter tone sharp or flat through a whole song.
And
He's
know
just
it. And know it.
oh yeah, on purpose.
Oh man.
And but he is so I mean, you got to hear the arrangements. He did okay, he won Grammys for the Flintstones.
Okay. Yep.
Da-da-da-da-da.
That's him. Okay.
Yeah, he won a Grammy for that. I don't mean the original. I mean new.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
a
Yes.
young Quincy Jones signed him. He was with Quincy. Uh, he sings so perfectly, and his arrangements are so perfect. Everything about him is so perfect.
Wow.
But to me, when I listen to a whole, I mean, I'm just blown away every time I hear anything he does. So this is not slight in the
Right.
least. He's just a freak, like I said. He's just
Yeah.
nature. He's heads ab- heads above the smartest, most talented musicians in the world. He's just a whole other level. He's working with Coldplay. He's often with a guest on the Grammys and blah 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 blah.
Oh wow.
If I had to say anything, is just I probably can't listen to, like you say, sit down and put on an album and listen to the whole thing a few times.
Interesting.
It's overload. It's just overload. It's just so unnatural how natural he is, how naturally good he is. It's
Right.
just so in relation to what we were talking about, here in
Yep.
the backgrounds or whatever. Um, that today, that was my point, and I wanted to make that earlier. Actually, when we talked about it, accessibility is at an all-time high for music, but the talent pool out there, because of the Jacobs out there. He's
Right.
the leader of that. They're like unbelievable acrobats. Like they do musical stuff that is like, what? You got to listen to Jacob Collier.
Oh, I
You got
will.
to go listen to him after this too, because just Google him. He's like, he's got billions and millions of views and all that
Amazing.
stuff. YouTube, check him out. He's kind of a freakish looking younger guy. Not freakish, but British.
Okay.
Uh, and so I think, like, I think when you put on, you're impressed
Right.
by the sheer talent of this man,
Right.
but I don't know if I can listen to 2 albums worth. I could put on one of his things, or maybe even 6 or 7 of his things, and go, wow,
Yes.
just so
Yes.
complex. The harmonies, the singing, everything is perfect. Like nobody sings like that,
Right.
Who sings that good? And it's not like he has a really great voice either. He just has like just killer ears. That's all. As opposed to some guy with a little acoustic guitar over his shoulder, sitting on whatever, just playing. That gives me a little, and I have to preface by somebody who's really good at it.
Right.
I that draws me in and keeps me in. The Jacob,
Yep.
draws me in because of the sheer technicality and the sheer,
The ability.
and it's musical. It's musical, but it's overload. It's like killer, right?
Interesting.
So I'm finding a lot more people like that, like acrobats, like
Yeah.
Jackal level up, and
Yep.
there's a lot of them coming out of schools, and
Mm.
so as a result, I think it's getting a little whitewashed, a little sterile is a better word than whitewashed.
Mm.
Great, it's like impressive, but maybe give me that album, and let me hear it a couple of times when I'm chilling out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think that's a very cool thing to speak on, because I do think that we talked about it earlier on, right? Like you mentioned the accessibility to music, and you don't get to sit down and savor an album side as an example.
Yeah,
You don't even think about it anymore. I don't think, by and large, the majority of people, and it's like, but we love the, I'll say, the novelty of being able to say, oh, do you know this song? And you just pop it out of your phone and instantly, and you can
yeah,
hear it, right?
yeah.
And we don't do it for very long. And there's that. Did you hear how perfect this was? And
Mm,
you kind of miss that. I'll go to the Ray story about Hit the Road Jack, right?
yeah.
Like, kind of miss that. You can only, I think that's why I think live music, Peter, is um is going to be a big thing in the future,
Hmm.
because you're actually by and large seeing people play what they play, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you kind of hit a bit, in a way. That's
Mm,
the kind of Bob Dylan thing, right?
yeah,
Like, no one would
absolutely.
have said ever that he was the best vocalist in the world,
No,
or the best guitarist, maybe not even the best writer. But when you put that combination of things together, pretty crazy, great things came out of it, right?
yeah, really organic and real. You know, it's funny. I think was it in the U.S. version of "We Are the World"? Or not
Oh,
the US version. It was one of those, either Canadian or
the
there was a.
US one.
And wait a minute, it was who is a Canadian artist that sings like Bob Dylan?
Yeah, Neil Young.
Exactly. Thank you. Uh, David Foster was producing it here at Manta in Toronto, and David's got really great ears too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he went on the mic and he said, "Hey Neil, it's a little flat in this section." And Neil said, "Yeah, that's my thing, man."
It's real.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
totally.
it's real.
Yeah.
And it made a gigantic career for him, right? Like you,
Oh, yeah.
and it's funny when you say that, because I was thinking of you and arranging it back when you hear, like, I think he said something like "Heart of Gold" or one of those songs.
Hmm.
Took like Brian Wilson said the same thing about "God Only Knows." It took like 15 minutes to write the song.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, well, yes, that's where it came from. But then it took lots of time for people to make it hearable to
Yeah.
what we, but that part of that passion, that instant that gift landed on them of that song, they
Yeah.
captured,
Yeah.
right? And Neil
Yeah.
Young's a perfect example of that. Man, did he ever make some, what a great Bob Dylan connection too.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff to me.
That's great. Well, you picked that up right away.
No,
It
that's
wouldn't. It wouldn't enter my Japan head. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the title of this episode. Peter, I can't thank you enough for joining us here on Better Than Not. This is such a fun conversation and going through so many different things, and I do appreciate your picture. I really do like that, the idea of a ranger and what you said, and being able to write that on a plane, to me, is one of those things that landed on you, man.
Yeah. Well,
That's pretty cool.
thank
So
you.
I was going to say, I'm going to let you get back to your day. It's like, as I often will say, we got to land this thing somehow or other. And I
Yeah.
think that I love that last part about Neil Young. That's a good story. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my style, man. Well, with that, I'll thank all of you for tuning in to Better Than Not with Peter Cardinali. Don't forget to look for First Takes, Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can find
One
it on
take.
One Take. Oh, what did I say? First Takes? One Take. Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just to
That's right.
hear what can be done in a spontaneous way by humans and have the good fortune of having it recorded. With that, I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll see what comes out on Alma Records in the coming future.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Great to talk to you, Peter. Bye for
Great
now.
to talk to you too, Doug. You take care.
Are we on? Good. Welcome to the Better Than Not podcast. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't. But when we at least do something, we know it's almost always better than not.